In last week's episode, we left the cozy city Groningen and continued our way on the Standemast route, encountering many animals and beautiful landscapes. Just after having left Dokkum, we found a sailing yacht lying in the reed of the canal having engine problems, and towed them to the next smaller village. The smaller cities Leeuwarden, Grue and Lemmer all pleased us with their cozy and neatly designed town centers, while Amsterdam surprised us with parrots and very hot temperatures. Favorable winds didn't leave us much time in Holland's capital, so it was time for a night sail to Belgium. Captain.
Good morning. We are now in Zeebrugge, just in the entrance of Zeebrugge. After a night of sailing, it was very nice. We had the current with us for a long time, and we're sailing about 7 knots. In total, it was about 90 miles from Amsterdam to Zeebrugge. Yeah, and now we are finally here, and as you can see, it's very nice weather today, but as you can see down there, sometimes it looks like there's not always nice weather here.
Zeebrugge is a well-sheltered harbour on the coast of Belgium with very nice facilities for seamen, but rather economic, as you can see. With the tram, it's easy to get to the beautiful city Brugge, which was still on our bucket list, if possible. Because winds were very good for us, we used them the next day to get further south and ended in Dunkerque, in France, from which we then visited Brugge with a rented car. While going down the coast, the prevailing winds always dominated our decisions to treat Thula and material on board as gently as possible.
And is it hot today?
Oh, it's too hot. Oh, but life is good like this. On our way, we collected a zoo of different insects, which were also seeking for shelter from the heat outside.
Brugge à Donkerque, je vous confirme que l'embarcation pneumatique avec 4 enfants à bord a bien été récupérée par le bateau.
Wir sind Zoo hier.
Ilja kept fighting for around 20 minutes. Then he gave up his territory inside. Outside, there was an important job to do, to raise the French courtesy flag accompanied by the Marseillaise. Saint-Éloi, with its neo-Gothic frontage, suffered significant damage during its presence in Dunkerque. During the First World War, it was severely damaged by bombs dropped by German airplanes, and again during the Second World War, during the Battle of Dunkerque in May 1940. Some of the bullet holes could still be seen. Hello and good morning! As you can see, we're not on a sailboat, but on the French highway. And we are not going to Brussels, but to Brugge to pick up Ilja's mom, who is coming to visit us. And yeah, it's a very nice morning again. We're going to visit the city today a little bit. Bon appétit, Ilja.
Merci beaucoup. Oh, Madeleine.
Brugge is the capital and the largest city of the province West Flanders in the Flemish region of Belgium and the 7th largest city of the country. The charming historic city centre with its canals is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, why it's also sometimes referred to as Venice of the North. Many buildings are from medieval times, and like in Groningen, you could not see very many cars here, as the historic inner city is very bike rider and pedestrian friendly. tallest building in the city is the Church of Our Lady, which is 115.6 meters high. The next day, it was time to continue our way down the French coast.
Hello, Janna.
Hello! As you can see, it's a very bumpy ride today. I've been standing in the rain for 5 hours maybe, finest English weather. On the left side I can see Calais, and we have about 2 hours, and then the tide will go back, so hopefully we get until the corner to go around the landmark to go to Boulogne-sur-le-Mer. That's the harbor I favor, but if things go bad, then we have to go to Calais. And things did not go that well. Ilja's mom had been affected by seasickness really bad, and the way around the Cape with high waves at Thula's bow and wind gusts up to 27 knots made us decide to turn around and sail the 7 miles back to Calais. Calais' inner city was quite reasonable, but things at our berth were not as, let's say, relaxing. Let me give you a taste of what we heard 18 hours a day. The harsh winds made us stay another day. We all had to take a deep breath. Let's say it this way. The monotone music variety did do something with some of our crew members' moods, which changed from happy to annoyed to slightly cheeky and angry. It was time to leave this disco harbor as soon as possible. Our ears were still sensitive a whole day after having left Calais. It was like balm for the soul, listening to the water rushing below Thula's keel again. Stay tuned for next week's episode, in which we will make the jump from France to discover England's east coast. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. Support us by becoming part of our Patreon crew. Au revoir!